Welcome back. Let's break down another day of the second impeachment trial of former President Trump. Trial attorney Kelly Hyman back and up late with me live here on the Final Five. Kelly, what's the background we have there tonight?
I believe it's Chicago. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Good to see you, too. So let's talk about this. First of all, this is not a criminal trial in the traditional sense. This is a political proceeding. The Democrats had their chance. The House managers showed they took their time. Republicans had 16 hours. President Trump's attorneys had 16 hours. They only took about 3 today. Why wouldn't you take more time?
You know, I think you bring up a really good point. It really would have been nice for Trump to testify. I mean, wouldn't you like to see him testify to tell his side of the story? Absolutely. But, I guess they believe that they only need 3 hours because the Democrats, as you know, have an uphill battle, and I don't believe that Trump will be convicted.
Well, we know that there are some Republicans along the way that have shown possibly some wiggle room. Mitt Romney was the only Republican to cast a vote to convict in the last impeachment trial. Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, a lot of these Republicans who we see sometimes on the fence here. It seems likely that he will get a few votes to convict from the Republicans, but does that change anything? Because it still seems like it's a party that still very much adheres to the standards, that adheres to his policies, even though he's not in the White House anymore.
I think you bring up a really good point. And I think that's a shame. I mean, we're going to have some senators that are going to vote not to convict Trump. And we have to remember, these are the same senators that convicted our former president, right, that we had. And they believe that what he did in the White House, where he had consensual sex with a woman, that they said, oh, we should convict him. However, under Trump, even though he lied and he incited the people, no, we're not going to convict him. It seems kind of like a double standard.
Yeah, I remember that very well, and even back then, it seemed like everybody, these things. I mean, look, Kelly, we know that in politics nowadays you can almost count, you can time everything by your watch, that everything's going to fall along party lines in one way or another. But we heard today the I keep saying the Republicans, they are Republicans, but the president's lawyers had reason. Well, look, you've had Democrats say, we're going to fight, we're going to have a revolution. They say that speech, using those connotations, effectively clears President Trump from anything that he said prior to the insurrection back on January 6th.
Well, I mean, I think that's just a false narrative. I think that's totally taking it out of context. We have to remember, people believe in First Amendment. Absolutely. It's our Constitution. We believe in First Amendment. But you can't run into a movie theater and scream fire when there's not a fire and endanger people. And basically, that's what Trump did. He incited the people. Months before, he was saying, if he doesn't win, they're going to stop the steal. They're going to steal the election from me. He put the date down. You got to come on this date. Right. He tweeted about it. He got these people riled up. Let's go storm the Capitol. Let's go over there. I mean, that's totally different. I mean, I think that's taken out of context, and that's just not fair. When
you say stop the steal, I remember Joe Biden was declared the winner of Pennsylvania on a Saturday, and that afternoon I was already getting emails about, we're going to have a Stop the Steal rally in Nashville. We're going to have a Stop the Steal rally here. And we know that as we look at video here, I know you can't see it, but we have video of people who showed up for the rally on January 6th. And the vast majority of those people did not go down Pennsylvania Avenue to storm the Capitol, but many of them did. And we're hearing more stories. We're seeing video that came out of there. Regardless of how this vote goes, which, as you mentioned, it's likely going to be an acquittal, does anything change? Does this bring anything to light? Or, as the president's lawyers have suggested, is this just an attempt to try to stop Donald Trump from running for president again in 2024?
No, I think it shows that people need to be accountable for their own actions. I mean, we have the people that were there, right? The people that went into the Capitol, they're being arrested. They're being charged with a crime. They're, have to be accountable for their own actions. And Trump needs to be accountable for his own actions. If we don't do that, then we don't live in a democracy. And we have to give a special shout out to the police officers there, especially Eugene, that saved the people in the Capitol. God bless you. Thank you for everything that you do.
And you know what, Kelly? That's the one thing. They started today with a prayer for bipartisanship, and regardless of what happened between the beginning and the end of the day, it ended with everybody giving Eugene Goodman a standing ovation as they voted to unanimously award him the Congressional Gold Medal. So that is a good way to end us and everything else tonight. Kelly Hyman, it's good to see you again. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Be safe. Stay healthy. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Kelly. Final Five comes back after this.